I see a critter. Who's the critter? Radioactive scale RC is first. How you doing, critter? Hi, kitty. Grittermorphics. That's a cool name. Craig, good afternoon. Where do you live? It's morning here. So are you East Coast? Or are you overseas? Detroit. Okay. So you're Central Time, so it's 12 noon there. Yeah, I've driven through there a few times. Hello, Jessica. Make sure you torture him well. 100 what? First Moderna. I got popped up a notification, actually last Friday, that it was available 1 o'clock. Am I? Wait a minute, it's 11 o'clock here, and that's Mountain Time. Aren't you Central Time, or is Detroit Eastern Time? Is Detroit far enough east to be Eastern Standard Time? Well, they popped up in, Happy St. Patrick's Day, Ian. They said that a vaccine was available. It was only available today, only at 3 o'clock, or actually 2 o'clock I got to be there. And so I was like, I can't pass that up. I have to get it. So Michelle and I are both going over to Moriarty today to get the vaccine. The first of the, I guess first of two for the Moderna. It says Moderna, so. So I can't pass that up. I mean, it's just too risky. If either of us get it a second time, it'll probably kill us. So they told me it's available. I'm getting it. That's like a new life. What's like a new life? Hey, dubbed out. Well, our life won't change. I mean, we're still going to be staying home and crap like that just because there's still the potential you could spread it. And you also want to send the correct message to everybody else. You know, if everybody sees everybody not, following protocol, well, they're going to stop following protocol, and then we'll have a fourth wave. We want to try to avoid that. Well, the one advantage we have is we live in the fifth largest state in the country, but we live in a very small state as far as population. There's only 2 million people in the whole state. So it wasn't going to be long before we'd be able to get it. But I also know that if we don't take this appointment, we go back to the bottom of the list if we reject this appointment. So we're not rejecting it. So, I was like, why does it have to be Wednesday? It's like, but that's the only day they have. When you logged in, you had one choice. Today. That's it. And I was like, okay, we're getting it. At least I was able to make it for later in the day so I can at least do a couple of hours. So I don't want to What's with that? We're gonna go get it. And tomorrow I got an appointment to finally get my title transferred over for my car. They've been making an appointment for, last 8 months now. Huh, weird. No, I see other people. I see John Jones, I see To the Extreme, Dubbed Out, Craig, Ian, Gridomorphics. Make sure you are set for live chat and not top chat. That might make a difference. I don't know. Oh, Jesus. So damn close, too. So close to having it. That sucks. When it's appropriate, make sure his family contacts the FEMA system once that system's in place. They have assistance for covering funeral costs. I think up to $7,000 if somebody dies of COVID. So there's assistance available to help cover funeral costs. That sucks. I'm just glad it's local. I don't have to go all the way into... Is she on the waiting list? Did you sign up for the waiting list for the vaccine? Okay, then she make sure check your spam folder. Make sure you didn't get a notification in your spam folder. Let me tell you the date that I got ours. So you can check your spam folder at that date. Let's see. It's from NMDOH. NMDOH. So we got ours on March 13th. That was the date that we got our notification that it was available to us. It was Saturday. I thought it was Friday. But Saturday says Moderna vaccine is now available at location near you. It gives you a confirmation code and a special event code. But check for March 13th and see if you got an email. It'll actually just say, it'll literally say COVID-19 vaccine availability. That's the subject, and it's from NMDOH. What's the email address? Let's see here. Looks like mail services at sks.com. Via AmazonSES.com. Weird. Must be they must have Amazon cloud servicing. Cool. Yeah, that review site that you guys know I'm part of. I finally got something really cool off of it. I had to. It was a split-second decision. You couldn't wait. When you see something like this pop up on the review site, you can't research it. You just have to bite the bullet and take the gamble shot because it disappears that quick. So I got the a Sony Xperia 5 Mark II, $900 phone. It's like $900. Are you kidding me? I didn't have to pay for it, of course, but that's incredible that phones cost that much nowadays. And I gotta say, they did a pretty good job. Oh, Michael didn't like me. I just see message retracted. But yeah, it's a skinny little booger. But it's got 3 Zeiss lenses on the back. You're lucky. And it's pretty impressive. It's the quality of the cameras is amazing, but it's got a lot of weird idiosyncrasies that are really annoying. Like, for example, I thought it was a good thing that all 3 lenses were 12 megapixels. All 3 can shoot 4K. So the sensors are relatively matched. But what I wanted, drone shots, hello. I wanted the 4K 120 frame per second 70 millimeter. Because then I could mount this on top of my camera, shoot rockets. Get a somewhat zoomed in, high speed, slow motion shot of rockets taking off in 4K. And it only does the 4K 120 frame per second with the 24 millimeter lens. It won't do the 120 frame per second with the other 2 lenses. It's like, what's the point? I don't care about high speed at 24 millimeter. I need it at 70 millimeter. Zoomed in where I can actually get some details. And then the other weird thing is when you're recording video, you cannot switch between lenses. I mean, that's a standard thing. Yep, we're doing okay. We're going to get the vaccine today. I'm super stoked that we're able to get it. We've been hyper paranoid about catching this damn bug again. And yes, ours has a list too, but that list is very long. We've been on the CVS list and we haven't been able to get it. And so you can't switch between lenses while recording video. It's like, come on, you can't call it a zoom if you can't actively switch between the lenses. It's just 3 different cameras at that point. And then it does other weird things. So, for example, it tries to act like a damn camera. And to be fair, it is effectively a camera. It's really good photography, and it's got true autofocus, multi-point, center point, as well as eye focus. Tracks your eyes. Pretty neat. Hi, Michelle. Add to my numbers, baby. Yes. Say hi to my minion army. Oh. I didn't know diabetes was a what do you call it? Comorbidity. I didn't know that made it worse. Nope, that's not what I want. I want that one. And it should bring up this. There it is. So instead of, normally cameras, cell phone cameras, the file name for pictures and video is the date and time. So when I'm doing reviews, I'll do picture, 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 video. And then I'll get the next item and do picture, 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 video. And when I look at it in the file structure, because the files are named by date and time, it shows up picture, 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 video, picture, 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 video. Well, this one, no, Sony had to be special. They had to pretend this was an actual camera. So the files are DSC underscore 4 digits.jpg. Okay, I can live with that. Except videos are not DSC underscore 4 digits.jpg or MP4. They're MOV underscore 3 digits and MP4. So now my videos and pictures are not associated with each other. So I've got to manually go in and play each video and rename them so I know which video goes with which set of pictures. And then worse, when I plug the phone into the computer and download the pictures, it resets the naming. So if I do 3 downloads, I have 3 files called DSC0001. It's like, why would you do that? So now I got to set up a rename batch profile to rename the pictures based on EXIF date code information so that the pictures will show up chronologically. Ugh! It's like, come on, don't be special. It's a phone. Stick with the phone naming. I mean, we know why cameras do it because it's easier, but this is a phone. It's a supercomputer, okay? It's got a Snapdragon 865 in there, Oh, what a pain. And then the front-facing, the selfie camera sucks. Horrible. Oh, garbage. It's the audio even gets out of sync when I do a TikTok or something like that. In low light, oh, it's nasty. You know, in super bright light, if you give it really bright light, like outdoors, it's great. It's actually really high quality. But as soon as the light goes down, garbage. You know, now compared to other phones, it's fantastic. But when you're commanding a $900 price tag, well, sorry, you get $900 review quality. I expect more. And now the apps for the camera, if you go to the Pro Video app and the Pro Photo app, oh, the apps are incredible. It's a true SLR quality experience in that regard. You have full and complete control over everything. It's an f1.7 lens. The high speed mode is ridiculous. Although, again, high speed only works in the 24mm sensor. It doesn't work on the 16mm or the 70mm. It's like, I want it on the 70mm. I'm not an iPhone fan. I don't like iPhones. iPhone is like paying $1,000 for 2-year-old technology. And I'm just not a fan of that. And I don't like it being so locked down. I don't like Apple having that kind of control. Just not my thing. But now, if you do use the 24mm lens, that high speed is ridiculous. I'm talking, and pictures go... It's very fast, but have you ever tried to shoot a rocket at 24mm? Yeah, forget it. It's a little tiny speck in the picture. It's pointless. So I need it to work at the 70. I need the 70mm lens to have those features. So my guess is the 24mm, which is the primary, has a better sensor, so it has more hardware attached to it, and there's less hardware attached to the 16 and the 70, and which is kind of a pity. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Apple phones. I mean, the hardware is okay. It's decent. I just think it's massively overpriced for antiquated technology. The only thing a modern iPhone has going for it is the camera. Everything else about it is antiquated. You know, you're literally paying for the same tech that was in 2-year ago Android phones, and you're paying a premium for it, and that annoys me. And worse, it's difficult to jailbreak. It's hard to let it do what you want to do. Oh, that new Razr phone is pretty neat. I mean, call me weird, but I'm kind of a fan of those old flip phones. Although my favorite was the Sanyo 6200. That was that really, really skinny bar phone. I used to hang it around my neck. The phone was so light and so skinny, I hang it around my neck. But that phone was so ahead of its time. That was before color screens started getting added to phones. Well, when they were brand new. And yeah, I'm getting mine today. So I will be leaving at 1 o'clock. We'll get dressed. We got to be there by 2 o'clock when we get our vaccine. No, there's nothing wrong with that. And plus, once you're invested in an ecosystem, it's almost impossible to switch. Because you've bought all your apps, all your accessories, all your connections and your wires and your adapters and everything. Once you're invested in an ecosystem, it's very, very expensive and difficult to switch. So yeah, if you've always been using iPhone, you're going to stick with iPhone. Because all your docks are iPhone, all your adapters are iPhone, all your wires are iPhone. Just like me, all of my adapters are USB-C. Everything's USB-C, so I would not switch. Oh, no, you're spelling it wrong. It's R-A-Z-R. R-A-Z-E-R is the phone company that made the old, the Razr phone. R-A-Z-R is the computer gaming accessories company. They're the ones that have like the Razr Black Widow mouse and the Rattler. They have all the different gaming mice and keyboards and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure it's R-A-Z-R. Because there's also a phone company called Razr. Well, actually, it's not a phone company. It's Motorola, and the brand is Razr. The actual model phone is called Razr. And, now, one thing I do like, and it's one reason I might use this as a DD, for whatever reason, I don't know why, I don't know how, the Wi-Fi hotspot works on this. Oh, yeah. It's not supposed to work, but it does. So you bet your butt I'm going to use it. Well, the good thing is because they're GSM, I can swap the SIM cards between them at will, which is nice. Yeah, exactly. What? Oh, was RAZR the Motorola? I think you're right. I have it backwards. You're right. RAZR is the phone. RAZER is the gaming company. Okay, so I had that backwards. Hello, Moto. Hello, DB3D. And that original, matter of fact, let me show you a picture of that. You'll get a kick out of this. So here we go. So this was my first cell phone. That right there is my first cell phone. And that is as skinny and as thin as it looks. Now, what was magical about this phone is it had things no other phone at the time had. At least it wasn't common yet. So even though it's a black and white screen, you could put custom images as background images on it. So I had the SR71 Blackbird on mine. You could upload custom ringtones. So I can convert an MP3 into the special. You want the kitty cats? You want the kitty cats? We can have one kitty cat. You can have that one. Hi, baby. I could hook that phone up to my computer and use its data connection for internet tethering. This was all very uncommon stuff at the time. And the ability to do that just was not common. They actually did make a color screen version of this, but it was only released in Asia, and I've never been able to get one. Hello, Colin. Oh, your cat's over there in the door perch. Yeah, you could upload games to it. Now, none of this was easy. You had to convert the ringers and the pictures into a special format and use special software with a special cable that you would connect to the computer, but it could do it. It was pretty neat. It was pretty neat. The Motorola rocker head up, and it was so small. It was so. I had a lanyard that I would hang around my neck, just like my key lanyard for my car, and I would hang my phone. I had a little clip. I'd pop it off the clip and use the phone, and I'd hang the phone around my neck. Well, it also helped that I was huge, but when you're 6'4", that phone is really, really tiny. And, so it was nice. It was at the time it was a nice phone. It had a very nice elegance to it. Eventually, I switched to the Sanyo 8400. Hello, Donald. Yet, sadly, the only day available is today, and they did warn me that if we did not accept it, we would go to the back of the list. So I was like, I've got to get it. I've just got to get it. Okay, well, I want to see that picture. Why can't I see that picture? It's not going to let me. Okay, I need a different picture then. Because that's actually the one I had, too. Save image. Sanyo. There it is. So, the next phone I got is this one. The Sanyo 8400. So that had a usable camera. It had a color screen inside and out. And that's actually the phone that I recorded the meter maid giving me a parking meter ticket 15 minutes before the time ran out. And he was not too happy that I caught him illegally giving an entire row of cars tickets, from the future. So I get it. I think it was 4 o'clock. He had to clear the street at 4 in Philadelphia because the parking lane became an extra travel lane during rush hour. So the parking was only until 4. I get out there at 3:44, and he's already given tickets to like 8 cars. And my ticket at 3:44 And keep in mind, he's already 3 cars behind me, so he gave me this ticket like 5 or 6 minutes ago. So more like closer to like 3:35, and my ticket says 4:06. So I look at it, I was like, hey, where's your DeLorean? Because you're doing some time travel here, buddy. I had a pager too. But this phone here was really neat because this was the first phone that I could do some really interesting things with. For example, before Comcast destroyed it, I had a Sage TV server. So I had 2 double tuner cards in my computer. I had a dedicated computer. I called it Cuteger. And it only consumed 75 watts of electricity. It was Windows XP stripped down to nothing. And I ran servers on that machine for over 2 years of uptime. A Windows XP machine that never rebooted in 2 years. I had a UPS on it, all that crap. But with the 4 TV tuner cards, I could record 4 channels simultaneously, which means I was able to overlap. And so I recorded all. I had a DVR basically, like a TiVo, but it recorded everything in MPEG-1 onto my hard drive, and I could watch whatever I want, whenever I want. Well, I can actually live stream TV, either recorded or live TV, to this cell phone. So I would stream live TV to this cell phone from my own TV server at home. Let me tell you, people got a kick out of that. And then this was my last non-smartphone. Let's see, what was the next one I had? I think it was the HTC Pro it was called, I think. There's other things called that, so I gotta find it. I think this was, yeah, this is it. Yep, that's it. I might still have some. Oh my god, they're still for sale. That's mind-blowing that they're still for sale. So then I got the HTC Pro 2. I think I may have had the Pro 1 originally as well. So then I got those. And I was Windows Mobile until I got my first Android phone. Yep, same idea. So I had a Sage TV server, and then when we switched from analog to digital, Comcast destroyed cable TV. I was gladly and happily paying Comcast $45 a month just for TV service. And when they switched over to digital, they also switched their cable to digital, which they didn't have to do. Cable was exempted from the mandatory switchover because it wasn't broadcast. And they says, well, we had to switch to digital. I was like, no, you didn't. Cable's exempt from switching to digital. It's like, well, we wanted to switch to digital. I was like, but you didn't switch to digital. It's like, yes, we did. I was like, no, you didn't. You did not switch to digital. I plugged my digital TV into your cable line, and I got bupkis. He's like, oh, yeah, you need our box. I was like, that's because you didn't switch to digital. You went to proprietary encrypted digital. Like, yeah, but the box is free. I was like, okay, so are you going to send me 4 cable boxes for free? And oh, by the way, I need USB access to those boxes so I can dynamically change the channels from my computer. Yeah, I didn't think so, you fuckers. So I canceled my service. They tried to get me to stay, and I was like, well, when you have a cable box that's free and that I can plug into my computer so that I can record my TV on my computer, well, then we can talk. Otherwise, never look back. Never got TV service ever again. It's my way or the highway. If I can't control it, I don't want it. Well, they were given the box for free, but what they wanted to do is they wanted to stop people from just plugging in the cable to TVs. They wanted to stop that. So by having the box, they can control how many TVs you can watch it on. And also stop you from sharing it with your neighbor. Why do you need 6 boxes? Oh, because you're giving 3 of them to your neighbor? What are you going to do? That's right. You got that right. The only thing they care about is how much money they can extract from you. I tell people that well, we don't have monopolies, we have oligarchies. I was like, do you know what an oligarchy is? An oligarchy is multiple monopolies who haven't figured out how to kill each other yet. Why do you think we have wars? All right, because countries are monopolies. Okay, and they tolerate each other because they haven't figured out how to kill each other cleanly yet. Oh, really? Usenet is still a thing, huh? God, I hated having to piece together files. Remember getting an NTP download that was like 47 files and you're missing number 32? Oh my god, I hated that so much. That was so annoying. Oh my god, was that annoying. Sonar, huh? Sonar, dive in. And radar. I'm gonna bring both of them up. Huh. I'll have to check them out, man. I use RARBG. I just turn on my VPN and just download whatever I want. Automated's good. Automated's very good. But I know a lot of that time you have to download it when it's available because it's not stored as long. So if you don't get it in real time, it gets tough to get some of that oddball stuff. Yeah, that's how I got on the internet in the beginning. You had to find a BBS you could log into. And then I had my first Gopher page. Remember that? Before web browsers came out, I had a Gopher page. That was like the coolest thing in the world at the time. Yeah, I use RARBG and Yiffy. So what are you bitching about? I'll give you verify my browser. Up my ass. So this is where I go to get my TV shows. And this is where I go to get movies. I like Yiffy because it's all 2 gigabytes. So they're all high quality 2 gigabyte 1080p downloads. You can get 720p too. And, but that's where I get my TVs and movies. The Weight of Water. Is that a kung fu movie? No, it's an adventure documentary. Are you kidding me? A blind person solo kayaking the Grand Canyon. Talk about crazy. That's some balls there. I should probably set up a Plex server eventually. I have like 60 terabytes of hard drives filled with TVs and movies. Like everything you can imagine. So I should probably set up a Plex server for the house. Because I think, don't they have Plex? You can Chromecast with Plex, can't you? So all the TVs in the house, anybody could access everything that I have. Oh, nice. And this phone is slippery as hell, man. It's basically unusable without a case. Because, yeah, good luck holding on to this. It's so skinny and slippery that it's ridiculously easy to drop. I finally got something of a case that looks somewhat decent. No, it's got leather back. It just still doesn't have the protection I would like, though. I like reinforced corners. This doesn't have reinforced corners. I like cases like this that have the beefed up corners. G21, what's that? Thank you. Phone type, this is a Sony Xperia 5 Mark II. Yeah, printing a case is cute, and, you know, it gets old fast. Oh, the other thing I don't like, the buttons. The buttons suck. They're nondescript, they're hard to find, and of course, there's your power button and there's your voice assistant button. So of course, when you put it in a car cradle, it covers those buttons. Because the buttons aren't up here where they should be. See, on this phone here, your voice assistant button is here and your power button is here. Both of them sit above the cradle. So I can access both of those buttons while the phone's in the car cradle. This one here, both of those buttons are covered. You can, well, the power button you can almost get to, but the voice assistant button is down here behind the cradle, so you can't get to it. The folding phones are cool, but by nature of what they are, the screens can't have a glass face. They have to have a plastic face, and that screams scratch me. Hey, DeWitt. That's the only reason I don't have a Plex server running is power. Yes, actually, he has snagged more mice. A couple days ago he caught one, and last night he was stalking one. I heard him chasing it. I actually tend to leave my cabinets open. I have 3 sets of cabinets in the kitchen, so I will leave one door on each open so they can get inside the cabinets and go after the mice. Because otherwise the mice hide in the cabinets, and then the cat can't get to them. But that's the only thing that keeps me from running a Plex server is the power consumption. Electricity is expensive here, so I tend to not run high power stuff wastefully. I can get access to some solar panels like stupidly cheap. I'm talking 9.6 kilowatts of solar panels for $900. They're 175 watt, so call it 150 watt solar panels for $15 a piece. I'm real tempted to put up the cash to buy them. The problem is they'd be sitting for years before I could do anything with them, because that's how long it would take for me to save up enough money to, to install them, mount them, wire them, grid tie in, and all that. And so really annoying that I can get panels so cheap, but I can't do anything with them. I'm thinking about grabbing one stack of 30 just so that I can make my electric car off-grid. So if I use the 1.1 kilowatt trickle charger the car comes with, you're talking about 30 hours to recharge the car. So that's about 3 days of, 8 hours a day from completely dead. So, but as often as I drive the car, that would be okay. For 9 out of 10 trips, it would be able to recharge off solar. And, thank you, 3DRCT. Well, the problem is not the price of solar, it's the labor and electronics that go with it. The panels are already cheap. Even buying brand new, I can get the panels for like $6,000. The problem is everything else that goes with it. The grid tie, the inverters, the wiring. That wiring is going to be very expensive. And I have to use a ground mount. I won't use a roof mount because I don't want to putz with my roof. I don't want to take a chance of damaging the roof. So I want everything ground mount. I've got the land. I'd rather ground mount it, but that means more wire. Wire is very expensive. And so figure it out. But I'm thinking about grabbing a stack of paddles just so I can do the car off-grid, because for the car, all I need is a 2K inverter and, one battery, maybe two batteries to handle the amp load, because you'd be drawing 1.1 kilowatt from it. And the batteries wouldn't be to charge at night. They would just be like if a cloud comes over or something like that. The car would keep charging for an hour before the battery died, which would give the solar panels time to come back online. But that I could do, and that would take my car off the grid. And where is my Gmail? Heard a tone. Go away. And just, I don't really need to take the car off the grid. I would just like to. Just so when you get those assholes who say, well, where does your power come from? I can say, well, my power comes from solar, motherfucker. Hey, red light. But I would like to set up a partial off-grid system in the house. Things like USB chargers, a couple small inverters, lights. Just for the, to say I did it. Just to play with it, to experiment with it. And, being a mobile home, I have this going throughout the entire house. So that's the center line of the house right there. And that runs the whole length of the house. So what I want to do is run a DC trunk along the whole roof of the house, so that every room could have 12-volt LED lights, 12-volt USB ports, and one small inverter. Is 300? Hell yes! Grab that as fast as you can and run like your ass is on fire. If someone offered me a CR10 S5 for $300, I'd snap that up so fast. Well, the containers actually need more power than you think, because they're 40 feet long, which is a lot of power. I have LED string lights. They're like the lights I use under the carport. That it's 50 feet long with 51 watt bulbs. They're 72 watts each. That's more power than people think. So let's say I were to use that for, 6 hours a night. I'm assuming US dollars. So if I wanted to run all three containers for 6 hours a night, that's 1,296 watts of power. So I would need at least a 2.6 kilowatt battery to run those lights for 6 hours a night. Now keep in mind, that's worst case scenario. True, so you're not going to print ABS, but everything else works fine. I've printed PLA and PETG full platen prints on my S5 without too much difficulty. You do want to protect it from drafts, though. So at the old house, I put that printer in the den, and I made sure I kept the door closed. But yes, the heat bed is, I think it's a 300 by 300 heat bed, so you don't get direct heat to the entire bed. Yes, actually, there's quite a few new printers coming. We were supposed to do the Hornet today, but of course we don't have enough time, so we're doing the Hornet next Wednesday. And then the week after, I have two more printers. One is here already, the Kaiwu again, so we're going to do that. But also, I saw a printer on Facebook and convinced them to let me review it without doing an Amazon review, because I explained I can't do that because that's a violation of terms of service, and I would lose access to my income source if Amazon caught me. So I was like, no, I can't do that. But I was like, I can do YouTube, and he said yes. So it's a folding printer. It looks like an Ender 3 sized printer with a decent color screen on the front, and apparently it folds for transport, and then you unfold it and you can print. So I'm looking forward to trying that. I'm supposed to be getting the BuyQB one, but it hasn't come yet. It's been a long time. I'm going to have to find that email and poke them. But I want it because it's pink. So I'm supposed to be getting the BuyQB one, but it hasn't arrived yet. But I got the Hornet, I got the Kaiwu, and the folding printer is on the way. Wind turbines is something I am absolutely interested in for two reasons. One, they work at night. And two, we get a lot of wind. And I mean a lot of wind. It's very, very windy here. So it's ideal for wind turbines. Well, hopefully they send me the pink one, because I want the pink one. Black is so boring. And also, this has two front-facing speakers with Dolby Atmos. And except that if I go above like 80% volume, they crack. It's like, come on, Sony. It's like, get your game together. So a 2.6 kilowatt battery array. That's actually not bad. If every now and then used 100 amp hour batteries become available. So you can only use half of that. So you need two to get 100 amp hours. So that would be 100 times 13. That's 1.3 kilowatts of usable power. So in reality, you'd want 4 batteries, because that's going to be running those batteries pretty hard. So that would be $300 worth of batteries in order to run the lights. Now, the good news is I would only need 2 solar panels, because that would be a little over 2 kilowatts of battery capacity. So 10 times... No, 0.3 times 10, and I would get, so 2 solar panels would get me my 3 kilowatts of power per day. And so I might want to put 3 solar panels. So 3 solar panels and 4 batteries. True, but you always aim for worst case scenario. Worst case scenario is all 3 containers lit 6 hours. That would be worst case scenario. As a matter of fact, 6 hours is probably too light, because you're probably going to, let's say I go out there at 5 o'clock. Well, it's already dark enough to need lights, and it's already, even during broad daylight, I'm going to need lights in there because there's no windows. So if I go out there at, say, 4 o'clock, by 4:30, the solar panels are not going to be producing enough power anymore. So from 4:30 to however long you're going to be out there, let's say I'm out there till midnight. So let's call it 4 o'clock. That's 8 hours. So yeah, I could need 8 hours per day of illumination in those containers. And that would all have to be on battery power, which means I would need 4 batteries, and I would need 3, probably 4 solar panels, and that's just for lighting. And remember, I plan to connect and open up the walls between those containers, so I would actually need all 3 strings illuminated. And I don't even know if that'll be enough. The string lights might not be enough to actually provide usable illumination. They'll provide enough illumination to allow me to go out there and find something, but they might not produce enough light to allow me to go out there and work. So if I join them together, that increases the odds that I would need all 3 lit. Because it's weird the way you do lighting. For example, I tried to illuminate the main room in the shop, my porno shop in Jersey, with LED lights. Now, the first idea I came up with was the ceiling was like 12 feet high. So my first idea was to bring the lights down to about 8 feet, so that I'm not lighting up that entire volume of space. That actually made it worse, because your eyes adjust based on an averaging of light. So having the lights 8 foot down was kind of like using a flashlight to look around, because your eyes average the dark area at the top of the building with the light area at the bottom of the building. So I actually got better results by putting the lights on the ceiling and adding a couple of extra lights to produce the illumination I needed. Because when I had the lights down low, I had to install other lights facing up to brighten up that upper area of the building in order for your eyes to produce the correct contrast averaging to make it usable for illumination. So you can't just use spotlighting. You have to actually fully illuminate the volume. So if I were to go into a 900 square foot building and only light up 300 square foot of the building, no matter how brightly you lit it, unless you went crazy, it would feel dark to you because the other 600 square feet isn't lit. So you really need to light the whole space. And 72 watts of light might not be 72 watts times 3, per 300 square foot, might not be enough. That'll be enough to allow me to go in there and grab some pellets. That'll be enough to allow me to go in there and go through a container, grab a couple rolls of filament, stuff like that. But it won't be enough to allow me to work. So to work, I need this kind of light. And just in this little space right here, I have 50 watts worth of lighting plus the light coming in from outside from all these windows. So lighting is weird like that. It's very strange like that. When you're talking about emergency lighting, okay, you do what you got to do. We're going to get ours today. That's why we're going to be ending this at 1 o'clock, because we got to be in Moriarty at 2 o'clock to get our vaccine. So we're getting, I think, the Moderna. And so lighting is very weird like that. It's really weird. And that's why photographers will sometimes have multiple light sources around their subjects, in a portrait type environment, because it's not so much that you have to produce enough light to light the subject. You have to evenly light the subject and the area around them, or it just doesn't work right. It's like flash photography. Yes, it's clear, you can see it, but you can also tell that it's being lit by a flash. And that changes the way your eyeballs work. That's why I have to have multiple lights bouncing off the walls so that this is all evenly illuminated. Because if it's not evenly illuminated, you have trouble. Your eyes just have difficulty. So the reality is I probably need 150 watts per 300 square foot to get usable illumination. Now, one thing I can do is have multi-mode. So, for example, have 3 grids. So 150, 150, 150, but run these at like 50 or 60 when I'm not in those areas. So run them as fill light. And then brighten those lights as I move from section to section. That I could do. It might work. Rigging it up would be difficult, but not impossible. It'd be interesting. But you'd be surprised when you're lighting your house is a lot easier than lighting the containers. I've already got multiple gallons of white paint, so I can paint the insides of the containers white. That will reduce how many lumens of light I need to light the space, because a dark space takes significantly more power to illuminate than a bright white space. So the whole space is going to be bright white. Walls, everything, maybe even the floor. But the more of that, the more I can make it white, the less light I will need to produce effective lighting. Something I would like to do, if I can get permission, because I know I need permission. I hate the fact that I need permission, but I want to build an off-grid cabin. I want to build a little, couple 100 square foot, like 3 10x10s. Just have 3 rooms, maybe even 2 rooms. Maybe have a 2 10x10s with a space in the middle. That space in the middle would be the bathroom, and then one would be the bedroom, and then one would be the kitchen living room. Thank you, Brian. The idea would be to build my own little off-grid cabin. To see, now my objective would be how much modern life can I incorporate on a budget? Can I incorporate air conditioning? Can I incorporate TVs and computers? Spring, summer, it's going to come down to budget restrictions, but I do have a lot of plans. So, for example, obviously I want to get this place cleaned up, but I want to get this front cleaned up. I want to try to semi-enclose the rear carport. I got to figure out how to divert the water, because they screwed up my carport. They made, so here's the shipping container, and here's the house. The carport was supposed to go from the roof of the house to the roof of the shipping container, so that the water that comes off the house onto the carport would go onto the shipping container. But they made the carport too short. So now the shipping container is taller than the one end of the carport. So all the water comes off the carport along the wall of the shipping container and floods my patio. No, I have not got the roof up yet. But once spring comes, I'm going to try to do as much of it as I can. I can probably get the, what do you call it, rafters? Is that what you call the beams that go across? I could probably install the rafters myself, but I'm going to have to pay someone to help me put the roof itself on, because that is something I'm not going to be capable of doing myself without seriously risking injury. I just don't have that kind of dexterity or the equipment that'll hold me to be able to, put sheets of plywood up. I've thought of a few ways I could do it, but no matter what, there's no way I can finish it. Like, I might even be able to get the plywood up there and partially screwed down, but I'm 470 pounds. I can't climb on a roof. Even if the roof will hold me, if I fall, I'm dead. 470 pounds falling 10 foot to the ground, I'm dead. There's no way I'm surviving that without lethal injuries or very significant injuries. There's just no way that's happening. And so I will at some point need to pay somebody to help me put the roof up. Well, to do it. I can't do much to help them. I can hand them sheets of plywood. But they got to put the roof up, they got to put the paper up, and the metal skin. The sides I can do, the inside I can do, the rafters I can do. Exactly, I just can't. The risk versus reward ratio just doesn't work there. That just doesn't work. But yeah, that's going to be huge. Getting it. I had to make massive modifications to it in order to make it 2 separate 10x10s, since they changed the rules mid-project that now you're not allowed to do more than 120 square feet without a permit. And there's no way in hell that's going to pass any sort of inspection. So I had to make them 2 10x10s, so I don't need a permit. So the walls can't connect to each other, the roofs can't connect to each other. It's got to be 2 separate structures. They're both connected to the platform, and the platform is allowed to be 200 square feet. But the actual buildings themselves have to be, 10 by 12 or less. And so go from there. But once I get that done, that's going to be a game changer. Because, for example, printers that need a lot of space, like my print mill, I'll be able to put that out there. I'll be able to put out, a dozen shelving units out there so I can have shelf space. I'll be able to put the washer and dryer out there. I'll be able to put my freezers out there. And that's just going to clear up so much space in here. It's going to give me so much more space. That's going to be a big deal. That's going to be a very big deal. But got to get it done. I also want to try to semi-enclose my carport out back. So what I want to do is put 2 8-foot by 4-foot little sheds that'll lean right up against the carport, and then put a door between them, and then put a false wall on the other side and seal it up with chicken wire. Yeah, it is smaller. I gotta clean this space up. It's a mess right now because I got a lot of this review crap I'm working on. My biggest issue was getting rid of cardboard. Expensive and takes a lot of time and effort, but I did finally figure out the cardboard situation, which I'm in the process of cleaning up. Any boxes that are large, I can get people to come and take them for free because they use them for moving. And the local food pantry, which is only 3 miles away, has a need for the smaller boxes. So all these little boxes that I would normally have to tear apart to get rid of, they need these boxes. So I can just toss all these little boxes in the trailer and drop them off at the food pantry. So that will make my life a whole lot easier. And eventually, the bus is going to come down to money, which I don't have right now. But eventually, I do plan to make a makerspace out of the bus. A mobile makerspace, which I think would be a lot of fun. And so yeah, I'm a bit of a pig. I gotta clean up my mess here. But once I have more shelving set up, that'll become a lot easier. Because right now, it's the mess is piles of stuff that I have to go through. And like last night, you know, I did reviews, so you know the 12-volt charger I got, and you know, apple sauces that I got, and there's a USB storage case. So this is a case that you store USB thumb drives in. And so I got this piles of stuff surrounding me that I'm going through, and you know, this neat little thermos container for food. You know, it's nice. But I made room in my bedroom for 2 shelving units. I should be able to fit 1 shelving unit in my closet, which means I'll have a place to put all my tools, because I need a secure place to put all my tools. And Ender's here. Noel is on the door perch. So there's Ender sleeping there, and then Noel's over there on the door. They love that door perch. That was the best thing I've gotten off that review site so far. They absolutely love that door perch. And I've got to start getting tables, or actually more shelving units, really, so I can start organizing, even if I can't plug them in. You know, I can't plug them in yet, but just to be able to organize them. I got to get more shelving units to put out in a container, so I can start putting the printers on shelves and organizing them. Because right now they're just everywhere. I've got, you know, 2 printers here, 3 printers here, you know, 2 printers up there, and 3 printers on the kitchen table, 6 printers in my bathroom. So I've got to start organizing. And the big problem is I came from having 2,400 square foot house with a 2-car garage and a full basement to now I have a 1,400 square foot house and 1,000 square foot of containers out back. So there's a big space constraint. You know, as you guys know, back in the old house, I had 2 rooms filled with tables. And then, so when I get a new printer, I just put the printer on the tables. Now I don't have that, so I've got to, you know, I've got to work on that. Once I have the containers organized, and I have shelving to put all the printers on, what I could probably do is put up a false wall in the container so that I can, like, just like, you know, 20 feet of the container, half of one container. And then I can illuminate that one space, run an extension cord out there so I can run power to a couple of printers and have a small working space that is illuminated, heated, and cooled. And then the rest of the container will be unheated, you know, just solar lighting. And this way I can take a printer off a table, put it on a shelf, and grab the printer I want to work with and bring it into that workspace and use it. But again, that takes time. I'm the only one who can do any of this. I can't pay anybody to do it. So, you know, I still haven't got a door put in the container because I got to figure out, you know, how I can cut a hole in the side of that container. I've got a grinder and I've got some grinding wheels. So now when the warm weather gets here, you know, I've got to, you know, I got to put on long sleeves and jeans. I got to put on my full face respirator and shit like that because I can't take a chance of a metal shaving getting into my eye. And I got to start, you know, I looked into a plasma cutter, but people I've talked to said I'll be better off with a, you know, considering the duty cycle of the consumer grade plasma cutters, that I'd be better off using grinding wheels. It'll be cheaper and go faster. Because I was thinking about that, because I can get a plasma cutter for like $300. But they said the steel these containers is made of is a lot of work for those cheap plasma cutters. And go from there. But I want to finish putting up the lights under the carport. I want to get the sunshades put up. I've got a whole post hole digger. The problem is it's a 2-man post hole digger. So I haven't figured out how I'm going to use that yet, and I don't know if Michelle is strong enough to help me use it. Like, I don't know, like, I don't know if it torques and grabs something, is it going to knock her over? It might. So she might not be able to help me use it. And what I'm thinking about doing is renting it out. So, offering it up for use in exchange for helping me dig the holes I need. So help me use it to dig the holes I need, and I'll let you take it with you to use it, for commercial jobs. Is it realistic? Yes. Is it realistic in the next year? No. Like I told you guys originally, that's a 4 or 5 year project. And that was before COVID. That was when I was making, $1,200 a month on Amazon, not $200 a month on Amazon. Before COVID, I was making, $800-900 a month, sometimes $1,200 a month on Amazon. After COVID, I'm now making like $200 or $300 a month on Amazon. So that seriously cuts down on my income, which limits what I can do. And so yeah, you're talking 4 or 5 year project, and go from there. Then actually being able to use it is a whole nother ball game. Because remember, if it's not like a car breaks down, I call AAA and I'm good. If that bus breaks down, I need to have a serious bankroll to pay whoever comes to help fix it. And you have to realize that there's costs associated with operating a vehicle like that, and you have to be prepared. That was one of my biggest fears driving that bus out here, was what if it broke down? That's one of the reasons why my mechanic came with me. He drove the pickup truck and the trailer, and I drove the bus. And this way, if something happened, he could help me fix it. Like we changed the tire, for example. And so, like, for example, actually, somebody on my stream here said, okay, when are you going to bring that bus to Murph? I was like, okay, I need $2,400 in donations for fuel, and I need a $5,000 bankroll for repairs. I was like, that bankroll needs to be a escrow that I'll have access to if I need. If I don't need it, great, I don't touch it. But if I need it, I need it. Well, that bus will be worth something for quite a while. It's got brand new tires on it, and it's actually worth more out here than it was back in PA. I paid $2,800 for that bus. I could probably get $4,000 for it out here. The problem is, $4,000 won't fundamentally change my life. It's not like it's $40,000. I can live off of it for the next 3 years. It's $4,000. You're just not going to do a whole lot with $4,000 in the bigger scheme of things. And if I sell it, I'm never getting another one, because I'm never going to have $4,000 to buy another bus, because that's what they cost out here, $3,500 to $4,000. But that's just it, though. $4,000 is not going to get me anything. Okay, I can finish the concrete driveway. That's $4,000. All right. There's just $4,000 just doesn't go very far. The bus has more value to me as potential future content, where I convert it into a mobile makerspace. Converting into an RV is very, very expensive, but I do plan to put a Johnny bed in it, so that, for example, if I do get to the point, tanking the bus is 60 gallons, and I get about 6 miles to the gallon. So the 360, about 400 miles on the tank. And so I plan to have, like, under one of the benches, I plan to have a small twin-size bed and some solar panels on the roof and a couple batteries, stuff like that. So that, for example, if I were to acquire the sponsorship necessary to actually travel with that bus, I wouldn't have to incur hotel costs. I could just stop by a rest stop, kick on the generator for an air conditioner or heater, and sleep on the bus. That would allow me to greatly reduce the cost of traveling with the bus, because I could just stop at a rest area and sleep on the bus. And but people don't realize how expensive operating something like that is. Actually, I was very happy. I was planning for 4 miles per gallon. So getting 6 miles per gallon made me happy as a pig in shit. Because if you do the math, 6 miles per gallon is a 50% increase in mileage from 4 miles per gallon. You know, a lot of people think, well, it's only 2 miles per gallon. Yeah, but when you're, okay, 2 miles per gallon for a car that gets 30 miles per gallon is nothing. 2 miles per gallon for a vehicle that gets 4 miles per gallon is huge. That 6 miles per gallon meant I spent $1,000 less in fuel getting here. It's a big deal. You know, 6 miles per gallon was awesome. But you know, a tire is $600. You know, you get a flat tire in your car, even if you get an expensive performance tire, it's like $250. You know, a tire for that bus, $600. So, you know, that bus breaks down, I can't just say, oh well, and leave it. It's going to have, you know, it might have $70,000-$80,000 worth of equipment on board. So I need to make sure I have the financial backing to be able to say, okay, fix whatever the bus needs. Yeah. And yeah, they get about the same thing, 6 to 8 miles per gallon. And a 25-footer is a small one. That's a little RV. But you know, so for example, let's do the math. So, maps. Let's see. Come on. Why are you taking so long? So, one way to Goshen, Indiana is 1,356 miles, 22 hours worth of driving. So that's a 3-day trip at 8 hours a day. And that's, let's just call it 1,400 miles. So, 1,400, assume I get 6, divide by 6 is 233 gallons of fuel. So let's call it 240. 240 times, what, 3.5 average? That's $840 in fuel just to get from here to Goshen, Indiana. And then I need $840 in fuel to get back from Goshen, Indiana. That's $1,680 just for fuel. A trip like that is going to require an oil change. That's $170. And that's not something I would trust to do myself. That's something you want a professional doing. That's $1,850 in consumables, so call it $1,900. So I would need $1,900 just for consumables, and that includes me sleeping on the bus. Because if I have to stop at hotels, that's $65 per. So 65 times 6, that's $390 in hotels just for there and back, not including there. And well, it's worth it if people are going to fund it. You know, if either if I'm making enough money to pay for it, or if people are willing to fund it, sure, that'd be cool. You know, drive up to Murph with a freaking 40-foot bus filled with 3D printers, computers, and laser cutters. That'd be freaking awesome. it'd be an event all its own at Murph. That'd be pretty cool. And but that's just the consumables. Okay, I would also need a $5,000 credit card on escrow that somebody would provide. Now, if nothing broke down, it costs you $0. But I need to make sure I have the financial means to repair that bus if something breaks. You can't just buy insurance and say, oh yeah, give me insurance in case I break down. That's not how it works. You know, insurance companies are already very hesitant to even insure that kind of a thing. And you know, I got liability insurance only, and I had to give some very heartfelt assurances that I would not be making a party bus or an RV out of it, because otherwise they don't want to insure it. And because there's a lot of risk. People do crazy things with these buses. And you can't just declare it an RV. It has to actually be an RV for the state to legally register it as an RV. So it's you know, there's a lot involved there. So I would need a guaranteed, you know, $1,900 for consumables for the round trip, and I would need, you know, a $5,000 accessible escrow in case the thing broke down. And yeah, And now the stuff for the bus, I'm 99% sure I can get that all for free. I might even be able to get the infrastructure for the bus for free. You know, lumber, batteries, stuff like that. Because I think you know, somebody like Home Depot might be interested in sponsoring a project like that, because it'd be a lot of fun. You know, slap Home Depot on the side of that bus and, you know, call it good. Somebody did PayPal. Hell yeah, Colin. 2624 on PayPal. You rock, dude. Thank you very much. I appreciate that greatly. The now of course, if you know, if I hit 100,000 subscribers and I'm making $30,000 a year, I won't need funding. I'll just take the bus everywhere because it'll be fun. But right now, you know, I make $7,000 a year. I can't afford that. And thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, whenever we go down to Moriarty, they have a bigger variety of fast food places down there, so we can go to Arby's, Taco Bell, stuff like that, KFC, and so we usually take advantage of that when we're down there, because we don't go down there that often. Although I'll be down there again tomorrow, because you have to do the DMV by appointment. Well, here they call it MVD. So I'm finally going to start the process to get New Mexico plates for my car. And so as of right now, with my current financial situation, I would need $1,900 in funding for fuel, because I don't have that kind of money. You know, I could probably come up with like $300 or $400, but I can't come up with $1,900. And I would need that emergency escrow in case the bus broke. Now, the stuff in the bus, that's probably going to be free. I'm probably not going to have any problem getting companies like Creality and who makes this? JG Maker and NASA and stuff like that to sponsor, you know, stations on the bus. So, for example, get Creality to put up like a CR6 and a print mill, you know, to put on the bus, and then I'll make a plaque above that station saying the 3D this station sponsored by Creality, and then the next station might have Power Tools, you know, sponsored by DeWalt or something like that. I could probably get most of those companies to sponsor this kind of thing, because it would cost them almost nothing, and it would be great PR. And yeah, security would be a thing, not as big a deal as you might think, because I'll pretty much be in the bus. And I would black out the windows, of course, you know, limo tint on all the bottom windows. Keep the top windows clear, because you won't be able to see anything because the bus is so tall. But the bottom portion of the windows, limo tint them, so people can't see inside. And hey, we got another PayPal. Colin Fulkingham, $25 on PayPal. You are awesome, dude. Thank you very much. 2 Collins. You guys rock. But it would be a lot of fun. You know, I can get somebody, maybe Arduino would support a little electronic station, for example. And, you know, sponsors could, you know, sponsor the bus. You know, not one-time sponsor, unless it's big donations, but repeat sponsors. You know, put their name on the side of the bus. I've been trying to get Mr. Beast to notice my bus. They sponsor my bus, Mr. Beast. I'll put your name across the whole top of the bus. Yes, it is. Council of Collins, baby. But I'm trying to get him to notice. I tried to get him to notice it when I was making my cross-country trip, because I thought he'd get a kick out of that, but he never noticed. And he's crazy. I love him. He's crazy. That's a neat way of saying I love him. He's crazy. But you see, that's a guy who pays it forward. He's making millions on YouTube, and he spends it on YouTube. He spends it helping people out. You know, it's just fucking awesome. You know what I mean? For, you know, he could be making that money and keeping most of it. And he probably, I hope he keeps a decent amount of it for himself. But, you know, the fact that he puts out so much, you know, call it stunts all you want. But these people are getting free houses and cars, and that's changing their lives. Oh, wow. That would be an expensive wrap. Oh man, would that be an expensive wrap? 40 foot long, 10 foot tall. Woo! But so the stuff in the bus shouldn't be a problem. It's I got to do the initial labor of putting the benches in. You know, that's just going to be a lot of work for me, and physically a lot of work. And the cost isn't that big a deal because I can do it piecemeal. You know, you buy a sheet of plywood and some 2x4s and you build an 8 foot section. And then a month later, you buy another sheet of plywood and some 2x4s and you build the next 8 foot section. You know, little by little, you build it section by section. And I would have like skinny shelves on one side, benches on the other side. You'd walk down the middle pretty much with chairs so people can sit at each station. I'm going to leave the 4 seats up front. I'm going to put a flat screen up on the front there. A little drop down flat screen, a little 50-inch drop down flat screen. And to be able to, you know, people can sit in there and I can, you know, tell them about the different technologies that are available today. You know, resin printing and 3D printing and metal printing and electronics and woodworking. Oh yeah, solar on the roof. There's no such thing as a it's called PLA. But I could probably fit 10 stations on the bus, maybe. More like 8 stations. Probably 8 stations. Probably close to 10 stations, but like the 3D printing would take up like 2 or 3 stations all by itself. Because I would have like, you know, a nice enclosed printer like a CR6. And then I would have something like a print mill. And then a couple of resin or a resin printer and a wash station. So to show people the variety of 3D printing that's available. And then have you know, maybe a vinyl cutting station, and then have a laser cutting station, an electronics station, a woodworking station. Probably have a rocketry station just because I like rocketry. There you go. That'll make sure you never think about quitting 3D printing ever again. But I have a set of stairs for the back of the bus, and I'm probably going to have somebody help me weld a plate on there to mount them to the back of the bus so they would fold up inside the bus. And then when I get where I'm going, I open the back door and unfold them. So the idea is people would enter through the back of the bus, you know, see each of the stations. I explain each of the stations, and then they'd exit out the front of the bus. But that'd be pretty cool. Air conditioning wouldn't be that big of a deal. Yeah, a couple of 100 amp hour LiFePO batteries would be pretty cool. You know, 5 or 6 of those would be pretty nice. But because, you know, a little window unit would be enough to cool down the bus a little bit, and that only takes 500 watts. I can almost run that directly off solar, and have a little generator. You know, install a generator. Eventually cut off the skirts on the side of the bus and put undercarriage storage in there. There's plenty of space for it. The space is already there. It's just a matter of, you know, paying to have it done. And you know, like RVs have the undercarriage storage. You know, have that. You know, put the batteries in there and stuff like that. But yeah, it'd be pretty cool. It's a dream project. It's something I'm not capable of right now, but it's something that I'm theoretically capable of in time, especially if I lose some weight, and because that'll make doing labor easier. But it'd be fun. It sure would be fun. You know, in the beginning, I'd only be able to go local. You know, go to the local fairs and venues and high schools and stuff like that. But it would be a lot of fun. It'd be a lot of fun. See something local like that. You know, if I broke down, I could get the bus towed back to the house, and they could just sit until I could fix it. And but I think that's the reason. That's the reason I haven't sold the bus, is because that dream is worth more to me than the $4,000 or $3,500 I'd get for selling it. Because realistically, what could I do with $3,500? Would I like $3,500? Yes. But that $3,500 doesn't come without a cost. I would lose the bus. Somebody else has told me about that. I guess it was you, The Good Life. No, I haven't checked it out yet. The opportunity value of keeping the bus is worth more than the realistic value of $3,500. Could I use $3,500? Sure. Now, I could definitely use that money. I could probably get the minivan fixed. That would be enough to pay for some lumber for a couple of sheds. Because one of the reasons I want to enclose the rear patio is I want to be able to let the cats outside. Basically, I want to turn the patio into a giant catio. I want to be able to open the back door and let the kitties go out into the patio without them getting free. I think that would be good for their health. I think they'd enjoy it. And let's add a Jeff, a Mad Hatter. There we go. Holy living crap. Buy more stocks. Jeffrey, $100. You rock. Wow, I'm surprised how clear that is. Huh? You rock, dude. Holy crap. There you go. Sponsored by PetSmart. And, of course, the bus would have to have space for the kitties. Because, the kitties would love a trip like that. But, it'd be fun. No one's ever done it before. What I'm getting sick of? I'm getting sick of coming up with cool ideas and never being able to execute them. Did you guys see the latest video of the guy who sent the RC airplane to 90,000 feet on a balloon and glided the thing back? My idea! I was talking about doing that 15 years ago. You can get both at the same time? I thought you had to get them apart. But here's, because I can't execute it, somebody else did it. I'm tired of having ideas and not doing anything with them. I want to do something. And, I've got the bus. It's already paid for. It cost me $42 a year to pay for registration. Whoopee. So the bus doesn't cost me anything. Well, a little bit for insurance, about $100 a year for insurance. Oh, 28 days apart. Okay. Oh, got both mine now, so you're getting the second one. You put a kite at 5,000 feet? How? That would take like 12,000 feet of kite line. I mean, how big was your kite that it could hold that much weight and string in the air? Oh, well, yeah, that'll work. Because 5,000 feet of kite string doesn't get you 5,000 feet, get you about 2,000 feet. You'd need probably close to 15,000 feet of line to reach 5,000 feet, because the kite line's gonna come out like this. It's not gonna do this. It's not even gonna do a 45, because that weight's gonna sag. That's a lot of weight just in kite line. And it would have to be something like, pretty good braided Kevlar to hold that kind of stress. How big was the kite? That's pretty cool. String an antenna up with a kite. Oh my God. 4 miles of line? Jesus. You crazy. I hope you got pictures. Well, it probably wasn't 5,000 feet high. It was probably a whole lot lower than you think. But still, that's almost 20K worth of line. Jesus. That's a lot of line. Well, something that big would be pretty obviously a kite. Yeah, I got a new camera body. I got a 6D locally for $350. So it's about the same as the 7D, but it's a full frame sensor. So I'm going to be doing some astrophotography. Yeah. 600 millimeter lens plus a full frame sensor. I want to try to get the Andromeda Galaxy. So super excited about that. Photo shoot went good. I got paid. Awesome. That's how I bought the camera. I took the money from that and put $100 up myself, and I was able to buy the camera. Got lucky. Got it used. Got a very good deal because they're going for like $700 on eBay. So getting one for $350 was really good. S21 Ultra. Nice. Actually, I have a Sigma 150-600 lens, which I might try on both the full frame and the 7D, because that's like 960 millimeters on the 7D. And I also have an 800 millimeter reflector lens. It's basically a telescope that attaches to your camera, and that'll be fun to try to play with too. So that camera lens cost me an extra $70, which pisses me off, because I got a really good deal for one on eBay, and I got it, and it was a fucking Nikon mount. The seller didn't screw up. He did have Nikon in the description, but he did not have Nikon in the title. And for some reason, when I did a search for Canon on eBay, his lens came up, which is really fucking annoying, because I did a search for Canon, not Nikon. So he's letting me return it, because he can say, I got a good deal on it, so he'll still be able to make a profit on it. But of course, I got to pay shipping both ways. But he is letting me return it, which is nice of him. He could have told me to go pound sand. And so I already bought the Canon one. That's annoying. I'm not even going to attempt to mess with an adapter. They make a Canon version. I want the Canon version. You're already talking about a 600 millimeter lens, which is surprisingly sharp considering its price. A 600 millimeter Canon lens is like $12,000. So getting a 150-600 Sigma lens for $700 is a steal. The last thing I want to do is compromise whatever sharpness it has with an adapter. So no, I'm just getting the Canon version. It'll be here tomorrow. And not even going to attempt to dick with an adapter. But yeah. This I was really hoping for that 4K 120 frame per second, but I need it with the 70 millimeter lens to make the rockets visible, and it doesn't work with the 7 millimeter lens. It only works with the 24 millimeter lens, which is really annoying, Sony. Why would you tease me like that and then not follow through? And then also, it does 4K at 4K. It does 120 frames per second at 4K. So why can't I do 480 frames per second at 1080p? If it's capable of doing 4K at 120, it's also capable of doing 480 at 1080p and 1000 at 720p. It's like, come on, give me more high-speed modes. I bet. Yeah, I can't afford that. The only reason I can afford this is I got it for free. Otherwise, I would not have that. This V60 can actually shoot 8K video, although at a lackluster bitrate. And this one will also do, this has a 48 megapixel sensor in it. So that's pretty interesting. How much pizza could I eat in one sitting? I could eat a single large pizza. It's not very good for you, but I can eat a large pizza by myself. I'd be stuffed as hell, but I could probably do it. No, I don't know. I've eaten 4 slices of a large pizza, and I was pretty goddamn full when I did that, so I might not be able to eat a large. Yeah, I'm not sure if I can do that. If I spread it over time a little bit, sure, but in one sitting, I'm not sure I got the stomach for an entire large pizza. Hey, you want to talk about scary? You want to talk about scary? How about those little Chinese ladies that are like this big, and you watch them stuff down like 4 pounds of hot dogs, like what, like Meet Dave. You look at them and go like, where the hell are you putting it? It's like, what? Crazy. You see some of these, high-end food eaters, and they're these little tiny Chinese ladies or Vietnamese ladies or whatever. It's like, where? Do you have like a pocket dimension somewhere? You got a TARDIS built into your stomach somewhere? Holy cow. Well, a large pizza here is 16 inches. Depends. It's either 14 inches or 16 inches, depending on where you go. So a small would be a 10-inch, medium would be a 12-inch, large would be a 14-inch. How many can you eat? How many of what? Hot dogs? Oh, I could eat 4 hot dogs easy. Hot dogs are tiny. So it depends on the pizza shop you go to. You go to a pizza shop in California, yeah, it's probably a 10-inch or 12-inch for a large. Oh, I love the thin crust. You want to talk about something cool? If you have a little even an oven, but it's even better with a large toaster oven because it's fast. You can go to Dollar Tree, and they have pizza skins. They got small ones, which are like 10-inch or 8-inch, and they got large ones, which are 12 inches. And I remember seeing that video. But you can get thin crust pizza skins at Dollar Tree. You can also get jars of pizza sauce at Dollar Tree. And if you want a really good pizza, Dollar Tree also has these little jars of basil pesto sauce. You take a big dollop of basil pesto sauce and mix it with the pizza sauce on the pizza, and it's so much better. Oh my God, is that good? And then you put some mozzarella and some pepperoni on there. You stick it inside the toaster oven, and it cooks it in 9 minutes. It is so freaking good. Oh, it's wonderful to be able to make my own little pizzas. I've got a stand mixer now, and I got a rolling pin and stuff like that. I'm looking to get a 50-inch by 24-inch metal table like this, something smaller, that I can use as an island in the kitchen, because I don't have enough counter space. But I do have just enough space for an island if I have it on wheels, so I can nudge it out of the way a little bit if I need to. And but I want to start working with flour, making my own dough, stuff like that, because it is a whole lot cheaper. I can make my own tortillas. And I got a tortilla press off that review site. So I can make my own little dough balls and press my own tortillas. And the 3D printed table. That'd be a very expensive table. And plus I want stainless. Easy to clean, food safe. But I want to try making so I can make my own, regular crust instead of just thin crust. Because I want to make my own pizzas. I love the idea of making my own pizza. And I also think I figured out a way to make low-carb pizza. I don't know how it works yet, though. There's something called seitan. It's like fake chicken. If you make dough and then rinse that dough in water, all the starch comes out. And you end up with something a little different. I'm wondering, can I make pizza dough out of that? It'd basically be low-carb pizza. Or at least a lot lower. And I'm wondering if that would work. So I might try it and see if that works. Let me pause this so it's not using up resources. The Domino's, many years ago, like 15 years ago, they had a New York style thin crust pizza. It was a thin it wasn't thin crust. It was thin, but it was dough. It wasn't the hard crust. And that was one of the, whatever they did with the sauce and the cheese on that, it was one of their best pizzas they ever made. I wish they would bring that back. Yeah, it's gluten. you're taking the gluten out. And what's left is a protein, basically. I think. I don't know. I'm wondering if I can make dough out of it. I have a bread machine. I finally got one off that review site. It's out back. I finally got a bread machine, so I'm going to play with that. I also got a rice cooker. Real nice little rice cooker. That's going to be fun to play with. Because I got like 50 pounds of free rice off the review site. I literally have like 50 pounds of basmati rice. I was like, hell yeah, I'll take free food. I mean, I love free food. I got these gummy bears, these gummies. I gotta say, there is something to be said for quality candy. These gummies taste a whole lot better than the cheap stuff. And what else did I get? I got a whole box of these Fit Crunch protein bars that actually don't suck. They're not too bad. And then I got a whole case of 48 of these Go Squeeze applesauces. Again, free. Because food stuff is truly free. Like even the ETV is 0, so it's like totally free. And I got little chocolates. Some of those fancy little chocolates. My sister loves these. I'm not too big on candy, just too sweet. But yeah, I got free food. I love free food. I got a whole case of Cracker Barrel mac and cheese. Heck yeah, I'll take that for free. Oh yeah. I've gotten like I have it's over here. I just got 3 cases of 24 cans each cat food. Hell yeah, free cat food. Oh, you're talking about the cloud cakes, the Japanese cloud cakes? I want to make one of them real bad. I didn't know you could use a rice cooker. Because I also have a Instant Pot. I got a pressure cooker too. Is that what you're talking about, Pygar? The cloud cakes? The real fluffy, jiggly cloud cakes? But, what else? You know, the Cracker Barrel was close to expiration. But I was like, you know something? Mac and cheese is good for 5 years past the expiration. I don't care. Cracker Barrel is like $3.50 to $4 a box in the grocery store. I got 12 of them. That's $40 to $50 worth of Cracker Barrel mac and cheese for nothing. Hell yes, I'll take that all day long. No hesitation. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Oh, I also got a t-shirt machine. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do anything with it because I don't have the printers for it to make the transfers. But I got one of those heat press t-shirt machines. And it's also got a plate adapter so you can make your own plates. And it's also got a mug adapter so you can do your own mugs. I got that off that review site. Hell yeah, I grabbed that. I scored another battery. So, you know, I got these LiFePO batteries off of that. I got another 8 amp hour one. I missed the 12 amp hour one. I was so annoyed. Oh, absolutely. I'll absolutely do a stream. I just got to figure out what I need to make the actual transfers. To, you know, like, I assume you need that, like, you need like a dye sublimation printer. And I don't think I have one. You know, I don't know if any of these printers can use dye sublimation ink. I have no idea. So I got to find out what's up with that, what I need to do that, but I think that'd be a lot of fun. Cheetos mac and cheese. But yeah, what else did I get? We got a little time. I got 10 more minutes. Let's see, orders. Let's see. Oh, I got a $250 crib for my sister Sarah. Real nice crib. It's convertible. So the crib actually grows from infant to toddler, and then it converts into a day bed when your kid's ready to use a bed. So it's one crib that she'll be able to use for her new critter for like 5 years. So she won't have to buy him a crib or a bed for 5 years before he outgrows it. So really nice. I also got her a, maybe longer. Oh, really? You can use vinyl. I'll have to try that too. I also got her a car seat that's good for 10 years. So the car seat is fully adaptable from infant all the way up to 10 years old. Or not quite 10 years, but you know, all the way through the periods, as long as you don't have an accident which requires you to replace it. And I don't know if we can do hats. I hope we can do hats because I like the idea of doing hats. But So I got her a car seat that she's not going to have to replace for a very long time. I got her a crib she's not going to have to replace for a long time. I got her a real nice stroller, like, $350 stroller, all on this review site. It's great. I got her a bassinet that is amazing. That's going to be great at the infant stage. $300 bassinet for zero. So I got some nice stuff for her. What else did I get here? Oh, I got this metal sign that says 5 stars. Would poop here again. I'm gonna put that in the bathroom. That's great. What else do I got here? Oh, I got some more of those USB neon signs. Bassinet. Hang on, let me find it for you. I will show you. Come on, don't be a prick. Seriously? Did you crash? Yes, you did. Again. Firefox crashing all the time. Alright. BSNET. That didn't show up. Am I spelling it wrong? Oh, that must be an AFA item, so it doesn't show up here. Okay, so I can't show you that easily. Unless I can somehow find it. All right, this is not it, but this just gives you an idea of what it is. This is not the one I got, but thing like this, a bassinet for infants, before a crib. Well, I'm not aware of any time limit. I have things that I review right away. So, for example, something like this. I got it yesterday and I reviewed it yesterday. I already ate 6 of them. But then, something like a solar LED light, I might take 3 months to review it because I've got to take it apart, I got to tear it down, I got to install it, I got to make sure it works. So, as far as I know, between 1 day and 3 months. I've even had stuff, approaching 4 months before I reviewed it, and so far it hasn't been a problem. But I got her a real nice one. And I also got her a breast pump for collecting milk. I got her a bottle warmer and sterilizer. I got her a real nice VTech 7-inch HD baby monitor. So this is all stuff that we're talking $2,000 worth of stuff that she now doesn't have to buy. And to me, that's worth it all along the whole way. That's just so worth it. I got her some baby books, some baby cookbooks. I got her rain covers and mosquito covers for both the stroller and the car seat. And the channel is there. I have 1 video up. You should be able to get to that from Nerisse.com. I got to put more videos up there. I got to start getting organized with that. Yes, goodies, gadgets, and widgets. So there's 1 video up right now. And I also got to start getting rocketry videos up. So it's just, again, once spring comes and I can start really clearing out some stuff here, it'll get a lot easier. I need to set up like a dedicated table just for the rocketry to record, live streams and videos for that. build sessions, build a rocket. My sister in Tennessee, she's having a baby. She's getting a minion. We're going to have new critters to teach. I got to train him well. Train him to be a good ETP participant. I just posted a video to Life of Nerisse going over the... I actually discovered that it's cheaper to use electricity to heat the house. By quite a bit, actually. My cost to heat the house with the pellet stove is about $166 a month. And there's a lot of labor involved with it. While with electric, it's about $125 a month. Not a separate studio, just a separate space. So I'm probably going to clear off this table here and use that as a dedicated rocketry space, because I could just turn the chair that way and do the rocketry stuff there. See, the rocketry needs a dedicated space because I might not be able to finish a rocket in one session. So those parts are going to have to sit there partially done. But I also need to be able to keep the cats off of it so they don't tear it apart. And the review thing, I don't need a separate space for. I could just do that here. Because I clear off the table and then I can just do that here, because that doesn't require a whole lot of space. The review stuff requires... I'm working on that. Spelled what wrong? Goodies, gadgets, and widgets. Or you mean the title of the video? Goodies, yeah. What's spelled wrong? There's nothing happened to them. They're still there. Let's see. Life of Nerisse. After 10 years, you'd have the same amount of gold, and the money would be worthless. Oh, it's capital. The I is capital. Yeah, I gotta make that lowercase. I'll fix that. Why is my lifeofnerisse.com not working? That should be forwarding to my YouTube channel. I just transferred all of my domain names away from GoDaddy, so maybe the forwarding got broken. I will have to check that. Yeah, it's WI, but it's a capital I, so I gotta just change that to a lowercase I. Can I change what channel I'm connected to while I'm streaming? Let's hope this doesn't break it. Okay, that worked. No, it didn't. Yes, it did. Okay. So, your channel. Yeah, I'm going to fix it. So, videos. So, let's scroll back to one of the early videos. When I first got here, that would be here. And I should have a link in the description. Yes, here we go. Stop doing that, damn it.
But I need 2 more. For glass, 1 for metal. So want me to
Excuse me, I told you to pause. Do as you're told, or you'll get bitten. Yeah, I'm making sure the link works before I send it to you. Yes, here it goes. So here is the link to the moving videos. All the bus videos and the move out here. I should probably add that to my Nerisse.com page. I'll be sure to add that. But that is the 9 videos from when I bought the bus to when I finally got to the house, and you get to see a tour of the house when I first got here. Don't forget, use those affiliate links if you don't mind. I earn a commission when you use them. And let me make sure I get my... Why? Oh, because I'm on the wrong account. That one. To use the correct wording, as an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. So I got to make sure I use that wording to keep Amazon happy. I don't want Amazon mad at me. But I have links to everything down there. PayPal, Ko-fi, Patreon, Teespring, and then I have links for Wish, Filament One, Wham Bam, T3DP, Protopasta, GearBest, Creality, Banggood, eBay, AliExpress, and the Walmart link does not work anymore. I got to get rid of that. Walmart doesn't do affiliate anymore. And Vista Print, Stickeryeti, different Amazons for different countries, MakerBox, UFO Box, stuff like that. So if you use them, I earn a commission, and I appreciate it. That's how I get my income from you guys. Your PayPal, your Patreon, your affiliate usage. That all helps to support this operation and keep me going. So this is my primary job. This is what I do. Yep, it's a lot of links. And I pretty much only make anything from the Amazon one. The other ones don't do anything. You know, maybe 20, 30 bucks a year. But, well, yeah, you got to keep them happy. You don't want them mad at you, man. The last thing you want is Amazon mad at you. But, let me make sure this is correct. That, and that. Okay. There it goes. It's loading. But yeah, it's fun. You know, you do what you got to do. You make it work, and you have fun. So as soon as it warms up, I want to get rid of some of the stuff here. I have a 7x5 plastic shed. I got to figure out how to build. I got it used, so no instructions. That's gonna be fun. But that'll give you. But I want to put a shed out front for like the lawnmower, the tools, and stuff like that. But it'll also help block the sides of the carport so the driving rain and snow doesn't come in under the carport as much. Yeah, their PLA is fine. Most PLA nowadays is pretty much the same. There's very, very little difference between one brand or another. The difference you're going to see is the quality of the color, the dyes. So if you're just looking for generic colors, the Amazon PLA is just fine. It's actually not Amazon PLA. It's made by another company, and they're just rebranding it. Yeah, well, we are technically not desert. We are high altitude mountain arid. So we're desert mountain. And so we get these weeds that grow up. So my grass is this like 4-foot tall plant that grows all over the place. And so I got a little 80-volt electric lawnmower just to trim where I need to trim if I have to. You know, if I need to. Usually I just leave it. I don't have to worry about trimming it, but I have it just in case. I do have a riding mower to take care of the tall stuff that grows next to the driveway. Because that stuff grows thick and strong. And it gets annoying when you drive by and it scratches the side of your car. But, yeah, there's not too much mowing to do. Yeah, I got a weed whacker. I got a weed whacker with the solid plastic blades for cutting the heavier stuff. Because we don't have your typical grass here. It's not like, the green grass you see at a golf course. It's more of the heavy-duty weed plant kind of stuff. Stuff that's sturdier in an arid environment that doesn't get a whole lot of water. And if you look at if you look at that last video, you'll see the kind of grass I'm talking about. I can probably show you. Let's see here.
We came.
Is this just the inside of the house, or do I also show the outside of the house? Yeah, show the outside. You can see this this tall scrub-like grass that grows. I don't even know if it's grass. It might not be grass. Yes, I have an Amazon UK link. If you click on the Amazon UK link and then go buy whatever you want, I'll get credit. You can see we have this scrub-like, grass-like stuff. It's not really grass. It's like, I don't know. I don't know what you call it, but it's thick. It's the not thick on the ground. Each individual plant is thick. But yes, I have an Amazon UK link in there. I also have, let's see, what links do I have here? I got Canada, Germany, UK, and France. You know people do what? No, it's mostly golden. Well, actually, it's pretty mild here. Hey, Michelle, get ready to leave soon, all right? It's pretty mild here. One of the reasons I chose to live here is that we're at 7,000 feet, 6,800 feet. So the sun is brutal because we're in the southwest and we're at 7,000 feet. So the UV index is always 11. Oh, really? Here, hang on. So, are you on a big screen? Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you forget people live in the desert. Yeah. I love the desert. I love the desert. But so we get very mild summers and very mild winters. We can get extreme summer and extreme winter, but it's usually short-lived. Like this past winter, our typical day was 45 to 50 degrees during the day, 15 to 30 degrees at night. Now, we did get some extreme nights where it was -8 degrees Fahrenheit. Whew, that's cold. We didn't even crack a door in the house that day. I just kept this whole place sealed up, and we didn't even step outside that day, just because of how expensive it would be to reheat the house if we let all that heat out. So we typically get, our summers get hot. We'll hit 90, 100 degrees, but it's 12% humidity. So as long as you stay hydrated, it's really not bad. There really is a difference between dry heat and wet heat. Now, if you're in the sun, you're getting cooked. That sun is going to bake you like a microwave oven. But if you can find any shade at all, even an umbrella that you're holding, it's day and night. It is so different. We do have coyotes. We do have big cats. We do have rattlesnakes, and we do have scorpions. 1,200 feet. I thought you said 12,000. You're going to be hot. 1,200 feet in Arizona, you're cooking. That's going to be hot. And so because I live at 6,800 feet, the weather is much, much milder. And because we have a desert-like arid climate, it could be 95 degrees during the day, but the moment that sun goes down, it's 65 under my patio out back. Yeah, it's wonderful. It's absolutely wonderful. I'm talking middle of the summer, and you might need a light blanket when you're sitting out back. Exactly, thin air. Most people don't realize that the air is a thermal battery. So the atmosphere holds heat. Because if the atmosphere didn't hold heat, the entire planet would freeze every time the sun rotated. And so the air holds heat very well. Now, the more humidity you have, the more thermal battery capacity you have. So, for example, in Pennsylvania, it might only be 85 degrees during the day, but at night, it's still 80 degrees. While here, it might be a dry 95 during the day, but then it's 65 at night. And it's beautiful. And on top of, yeah, the sun rotates. Some parts, actually different parts of the sun rotate at different rates. It's pretty neat. It also means, because we're high altitude and arid, it also means no bugs. So no mosquitoes, no gnats. We can get mosquitoes. If you make the mistake of leaving a trailer full of water out, you'll learn real fast you can get mosquitoes. But as long as you maintain water discipline, there's basically no mosquitoes. I don't need bug spray to go out on my patio at night. It's wonderful. Yes, technically the sun rotates around us. Most people don't realize that the Earth doesn't orbit the sun. The Earth and the sun orbit a common point, because the sun orbits the Earth and the Earth orbits the sun. Now, because the sun is a bigger mass, that co-orbital point is actually inside the atmosphere of the sun. But, for example, Jupiter is large enough that the co-orbit point for the sun is actually outside the atmosphere of the sun, in space. So yeah, the two orbit each other. But of course, the sun is superior, so you could say the Earth orbits around the sun and be correct. I forget what it's called, a co-orbital point or something like that. There's a name for it. There's a name for that point, that common point that the two bodies share. But yeah, gravity's fascinating. I got to see the doctor about this cough. It's really annoying. Wibbly wobbly point. Yes, I like that. I like Doctor Who's wibbly wobbly. And, I'm watching these TikTok videos of this British lady who just tried ranch for the first time, and she's in heaven. It's funny as hell. Got a headache again. I gotta take some Advil. No, because the moisture is acting... Okay, more moisture in the winter? Yes. That's not a Lagrange point. Lagrange point is a balance of gravity point. Let me see if I can find the name of it. Oh, I think it's called a barycenter. Yes, barycenter. Here's a good link that explains it. Just make something, got it. Barry point. Think of it as center of mass. So pretty fascinating stuff. I love astronomy. This stuff's awesome. Lagrange points are like gravitational dead zones, where you can stick something in a Lagrange point and it will stay there stable. And, oh man. I'm finally starting to get a whole bunch of these little tiki torch LED lights. So I got 6 of them here, and I got like 6 more coming in, so I'll have 12 of them. So I'm gonna be setting up all over the yard. Because the one thing we get a lot of is sun. So think of the humidity in the air. Oh, well, think of the atmosphere as a battery. It's a thermal battery. It's able to hold energy and release it over time. That's why the moon is an extreme. You're either hot or you're cold. There's no balance. You're either boiling hot or you're freezing cold. The Earth is more balanced because we have an atmosphere. Now, humidity, or the moisture in the air, increases the thermal battery capacity of the atmosphere. That's why it gets so cold here at night. It could be 30 to 40 degrees cooler at night than during the day. And that's because the atmosphere has no moisture in it. So it can't hold as much thermal energy. So it lets it go very quickly. Now that also means we cool off very quickly because, I mean, you can actually demonstrate this. Lick your arm, then blow over it. You'll feel that spot of your arm is cold, like actually cold. And that's because when the moisture evaporates, it draws heat energy away from your body. So that's not the same thing as the humidity in the air drawing heat energy. Is that what the ZZ Top song is about? I don't know. What? That's why we sweat. We sweat by evaporative cooling. And that's why your cat goes because they can't sweat. Cats don't sweat. Cats are actually desert animals. So sweating for a desert animal is lethal because you're letting go of moisture. That's why we think deserts feel so great until we run out of sweat. And then you get heat stroke. And yeah, I know. I'm going to quit this at 1:30. But that's all right. Now if you can maintain your hydration, the desert's wonderful. You also have to have shade because otherwise the sun's going to cook you because the UV index is a lot higher here. And like for example here, even in the wintertime when it's 15 degrees outside, it'll still get hot enough in your car to cook you because the sun is so strong and there's not a whole lot of atmosphere to block it. So what you're getting is you're not getting thermal warming by convection. You're getting direct radiation warming. The direct radiation of the sun itself is warming you. So as soon as you step out of that sun, it's suddenly not nearly as hot anymore because the actual ambient temperature is a lot lower. It just it feels hot because you're getting hit by the sunlight. While back east, where the humidity was 80%, it's like having a heavy blanket on. So even though it gets colder at night, that heavy blanket keeps you warm. So that humidity keeps things warm, which is why people in Florida spend $600 a month on air conditioning. Most of that power is not actually going to cooling you. It's going to removing the moisture, which is making you feel hot because your body can't evaporatively cool if you're at 100% humidity because your sweat can't evaporate. So your body can't cool off. You know, people say, if our body is 98 degrees, why does 98 degrees feel so hot? Well, that's because your body is a heat generator. Your body is not 98 degrees. Your body's 110 degrees, 120 degrees. And then your body thermal regulates to keep you down to 98. Well, here's the problem. If you're 98 and the temperature is 98, your body can't thermal regulate. It can't dump heat. It can't get rid of heat. So your body begins to overheat because it can't vent that heat to the atmosphere because it's too warm. So that's why in heavy humidity environments we have a problem because we can't get rid of the heat. Cutting carrots, dicing with... That's funny. Oh, here? We can get 15 inches of snow and the next day it's all gone. But the snow within the first 4 feet of my house could stay for weeks. I still have snow in the front of my house here. Because the sun never hits there. The sun is so low in the sky that it's basically in permanent shade at the front of my house. So the direct thermal radiation doesn't hit the snow and melt it. You'll see that if you'll see overpasses where the snow's all melted except for this one spot on the side of the overpass. That's because that spot's in shade. So the sun's not hitting it to add its energy to the snow and melt it. So out in the desert, you feel great as long as you're not being baked by the sun directly. But you have to watch you don't dehydrate. Because you are not sweating, your sweat is evaporating so readily, you don't realize you're dehydrating. And it's very, very dangerous if you're not careful. Yep, same thing. We will find you, and we will eat you. You shall be dinner. Hey, the way I see it, a thumbs down is still an interaction, and the algorithm likes interaction. The more you interact with a video, thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe, whatnot, the more you interact with a video, chat, reply to other people's chats, leave messages, stuff like that, all of that tells the algorithm that people like your video. Or not even that they like it, that they're interacting with your video. And that helps you with the algorithm. Now, see, it's a mouse, so you got to eat this finger. Make it a little harder to use that mouse. Well, actually, unless they're using a touchpad, then sometimes it is your thumb doing the click. I want to give shout outs to my donors again, just because you guys are amazing. So we have here Colin McGlade, 2624, Colin Falkingham, $25, and Jeffrey Cookingham II, $100. You guys freaking rock. Thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. Thank you to my patrons who continue to stick with me. I really appreciate that. And now we got 9 more minutes we can chat, but we're going to go get our vaccine today. That's the reason we're not doing a printer. They told me today only, and if I don't get it today, I go back to the bottom of the list. So I said, okay, we're going to get the vaccine. Is that a threat? I got that one. That's good. I will. Thank you very much. Nobody sent me a letter to request stickers yet. Boo. If you send a sassy to the address in the description, the P.O. box in the description, I'll send you a sticker. Let's see. 3D question. Starting to get zits on my Sidewinder. Haven't changed anything and used several different filaments. Okay, if you are getting zits on a piece of G-code, not the same file. I don't care if it's the same file. If it's the same G-code that did not get zits before, either something changed with your filament. So, for example, you're going to get more stringing and more zitting if your filament is wet, because you're going to have steam that's going to pop off inside when you heat it up, and that's going to cause more oozing. From the UK, if you send me a sassy, if you send me an envelope with enough postage to go back to you, I'll send you a sticker. So just take an envelope and put your address on it, put the postage on it, and stick that in another envelope and send it to me, and I'll put some stickers in there and send it back. The thank you, just make something. The lost my train of thought. Oh, I'm getting the vaccine. Because the threat of the vaccine is less than the threat of dying from COVID. Because if we catch it, we're dead. We got. I don't know if, especially the current variant is a little bit more nasty. So yeah. Well, it's not guaranteed. It's 94% effective. So for 6% of the people, it's not going to work. And that sucks. That really sucks. That sucks, drone shots. To be unlucky enough to be part of that 6% is pretty... That's sucky. I hope people wake up. I hope people realize how messed up our governments are. That these people are... I mean, right now, the one half of our government is threatening to lock down and destroy the entire government to prevent the other half from passing anything. Not because they agree or disagree, but because they're not in power. Well, the point is, you don't die. And the vaccine is shown to reduce the carrier aspect, meaning you catching it and passing it on to others, by 70%. That's pretty significant. That's better than we're doing with masks, because we can't get people to wear the goddamn masks. You know, it's like, it's so simple. Just wear a freaking mask and the problem goes away on its own, but nobody will do it. We still have 40% of people around here who won't wear them. So the vaccine does they're starting to get data back, like real world data on the first one, the Pfizer one, I think, because it has the most out there. So they have the most data back, and it's actually showing upwards of 97% effectiveness in some areas. The lowest is 94%. And it's showing a 60 to 70% effectiveness at stopping transmission. And it stops 60 to 70%. It drops the amount of you carrying and infecting somebody else. And I don't know. But I know they only have data on the first one because there's not enough of the other ones out there yet. But that data is finally starting to roll in, and it's very, very promising. The concern is, can we vaccinate enough of the population to kill the bug before one of the mutations becomes resistant to the vaccine? That's the trick. Well, it's like saying, I don't want to wear a seatbelt because there's a 1% chance the seatbelt will be what kills me. Yes, but in 99% of the rest of the situation, you're going to be a cripple or dead if you don't wear a seatbelt. I mean, my grandpa was a state trooper, and he said he's never had to unbuckle a corpse. Never in his entire career has he ever unbuckled a corpse. What he's telling you is he's never had to unbuckle somebody who died in a car accident. You know, the people who died are the ones who weren't buckled in. No, I'm getting a Moderna. I'm kind of glad I'm getting the Moderna because I heard the Pfizer one has a possible blood clotting issue. It probably doesn't, but I know there's a couple of countries that have paused that one until they figure out whether or not the clots are coming from that. Well, of course, it's not a... Okay, what kind of bugs me is where people think that, oh, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do and I still got sick. None of this is 100% effective. The only way you're going to be 100% effective is, yeah, but how many people died? How many people died in the Spanish flu in order to get to that point where you got your herd immunity after 2 years? Yeah, we're doing something wrong. We fucked up from day one. We turned this virus, which should be an issue of science and mathematics, and we converted it into a political agenda point. The only reason we have anti-maskers is because we made it political on purpose for our own political gains. Our own government made this into a political issue for their own personal gains.
Did you feed them?
Fuck them. ETP. Yes, I did.
Okay. When are we leaving?
Of course it's experimental. I mean, the vaccine is technically not even FDA approved. It's approved for emergency use because 500,000 people have died. I'm okay with being part of the experiment. I don't want to be first. I don't want to be first. But there are enough people who've had it since December to convince me it's safe. You know, if you'd asked me, do I want the vaccine in December? I would have told you no. If you said, do you want the vaccine in January? I would have told you no. I'm going to let a few million people get it first and see if they turn into zombies. Because remember, the legend happened because of a bad vaccine on a virus outbreak in 2020. Well, I know what the side effect of COVID is. It's called death. So I can take death, or I can take a possible side effect for a vaccine that's so far proven completely safe. Yeah, because, well, she doesn't want me late. And, yeah, the side effect is I live. Now, if I were 16 years old and totally healthy, maybe you'd have a point. You know, I got 80 years of my life left for potential side effects. Correct, the politicians did. All for political gain. It would have happened. Now, keep in mind, when I say Democrat or Republican, it would have happened the other way if the roles were reversed. They're both guilty. But the Democrats wanted the virus to take a hold because it would help them in the election. It would allow them to destroy Trump. Now, trust me, if the Democrats were in charge, the Republicans would have spread false information about the virus to damage the Democrats. They're both scumbags.
Democrats alone. We got a Republican and a Democrat in this house.
Exactly. Yes, but I have comorbidities. I'm older, I'm pre-diabetic, and I'm 400 pounds. All of a sudden, it's not 1%. It's like 30% for people like me. Okay? For people like me and Michelle, the mortality rate for COVID is like 30 to 40%. It's bad. And if I end up in a hospital, the mortality is 90% for people like me. Okay? So I'm not your normal person. I'm fat. All right? And being fat is a very bad comorbidity for COVID. Well, I blame them both. They wanted to attack him. They wanted to get him out of office, so they used the virus to do it. They thought it was going to be like H1N1. Just a few people get infected, hardly anybody would die, and it would blow over. Well, it didn't blow over. 500,000 people died in this country alone. Yeah, no shit, change lifestyle. No shit, dude. I'm trying. But, no, I'm not cuddly. I'm just fat. There's nothing good or cuddly or nice about being fat.
He's a big teddy bear.
I can't see my own penis. You know, I have to bend my arm against my wall to wipe my ass. My back aches when I get out of bed. You know, I mean, trust me. There's nothing good about being fat. There is nothing good about being fat. It's not cuddly. It's not nice. There's no upside to being fat. There's none. Being fat sucks. But it's an addiction. It's worse than cocaine and heroin. I mean, I got fat in college.
Me too.
When I was in high school, I ate like a horse. I mean, I would sit down and eat an entire pound of pasta. But I was active. If I came home from school at 3 o'clock, the first thing my dad said was, "What's wrong?" Because I never came home before 6 or 7 o'clock. It was football, baseball, wrestling, NJROTC, Civil Air Patrol, Boy Scouts, debate club, choir club, rocketry club, TSA club. I was always doing something. Even just playing at home. I was chasing gliders. You know, I'd throw a glider, chase it 1,000 feet, come back and throw it again. I was riding bikes and dirt bikes. I was hiking, camping, rappelling. I was always very, very active. Never soccer. I never played soccer or footy ball. But I was very, very active. So I burned a ridiculous number of calories. I was eating 4,000 calories a day, but I was burning 4,000 calories a day, so I was never fat. When I went to college, I was not prepared. My high school I did very good in high school, but my education in high school was not sufficient to prepare me for college. But because I was a bit of a nerd, I did well on entrance exams. And so I ended up in classes that were a little bit beyond my means. And, yes, I know. And I'm already at that age. So my college classes were a little bit beyond my means. No, never had a problem with girls. It was just my nose in the books. And then, of course, when I went to college was when direct connection internet started to become a thing. So we had a 19.2 connection in our dorm rooms. So that was very addictive. So my activity level went from this to this. But I continued to eat like I always ate. I ate like I've been eating for 10 years. So I continued to eat ridiculous amounts of food because I've always eaten ridiculous amounts of food. But because my activity level dropped to near zero, I exploded. I've still got the stretch marks from how fast I gained weight. And then once you gain it, it's so hard to lose it. The family business started to decline, so I was spending, 80, 90 hours a week working. And it was mostly a behind-the-counter desk-type job, so it wasn't an active, physically job. And it's my fault. I screwed up, but, what are you going to do? Now I got to work 10 times harder to lose it. COVID didn't help. I was doing pretty good until COVID. I was doing pretty decent until COVID.
That's your fault, too.
So, yeah, well, of course it's my fault. It's no one else's fault. I've got to lose about another 40 or 50 pounds before I can get back on the bicycle. I've got to get down to around 400 before I can get back on the bicycle. Because if I get on the bike now, I'll destroy the bike. I'm too heavy. So I've got to, once the society starts to return to normal. Yes, I know walking is not so bad. Remember, I have very beefy legs. I can't run. If I run, I will destroy my knees. But I've just got to get more active. Got to get more active. Got to do more walking. Once this COVID stuff has passed, we were doing pretty good. We would go to the store every day. We wouldn't buy anything. We would just go to the store, walk around, and look at stuff. I do. I have a day 6. I have a day 6 Dream 21. It's a semi-recumbent. I have reinforced cranks with tandem hubs and rims, so 44 spokes instead of 30, so to hold my weight. But even that is not enough at my current weight. I've got to get rid of like 40 or 50 pounds, then I can get back on the bike. Yeah, bariatric surgery is a $35,000 operation. Yeah, I don't have that. Yes, we do. We got to get out of here because we got 25, 30 minutes. It's a 10-minute drive to get down there. I gotta lose weight. It's my fault. I mean, I can come up with excuses all I want, but no matter what, it's my fault. And so I just gotta. Well, I have a stationary bike, and now that winter is ending, I'll be able to start using that stationary bike. That's another reason why I want to. No, I'm in New Mexico. There's no place to swim. Will I stream my jab? Probably not. I guess I can try to record it. I got a pair of video glasses. I could probably record myself getting the vaccine. They won't notice if I do that, maybe. But yeah, that's another reason why I want the shed set up, because I want to set up the stationary bike in the shed so that I can use it all year round. Because the bicycle is a lot lower impact on your knees and your joints. I just need to get my heart rate up and keep it there. I need to get that heart rate up and keep it there. Just to make the body work. Not even so much for losing weight, but for increasing fitness. If I can get my my fitness level up, I will naturally become more active because I'll be in less pain doing stuff. And that will cascade into losing weight. So, and eat less. Got to eat less. All right, I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for those who donated. I appreciate it more than you can know. Wait a minute, we got one more PayPal. SMBI Soft. Thanks for being a guinea pig. $5. You got it, dude. I think of myself as a second-tier guinea pig. All the first-tier guinea pigs got it, and most of them survived, so I'm willing to be a second-tier guinea pig. If it means I don't have to die. If I was healthy and young, it wouldn't matter, but I'm not healthy and I'm not young, and I have comorbidities that are very, very bad for COVID. So that's why we've been basically locked up in our house. We go to the grocery store and that's it. We don't really go anywhere else just because we have comorbidities. So next week we will do the Artillery Hornet, and hopefully the week after that we will do that new folding printer, and then we will also do the Kaiwu again. We'll see if the final production printer is any different. So stay tuned. I will keep you happy. I will keep my victims as happy as I can. And hopefully I'll get the extension for the print mill, and I'll be able to start making videos as I replace all the busted molding in the house and go from there. So you guys have a great week. If you have a chance to get the vaccine, get it. If you have a chance to pay it forward and help somebody who's in a worse shape than you, do it. It feels good. And if you find a politician in a dark alley, eat them. Trust me, they taste good. You guys have a great day.